Okay, so here's a video on how to use the Samsung Ecobubble washer, and this I've got the Ecobubble 9K. So to turn on the machine, press the power button, you got the familiar sound, and it starts immediately on the 15-minute quick wash. Okay, so you've got the settings on the wheel, you can see the light, and then you've also got your times. So if I want to change, pretty simply, just turn the wheel down and you'll see the times changing correspondingly. Let's say the Super Eco wash might be most people's go-to is 2 hours and 21 minutes. Now if we come over to here, then you've got a few nice features. Let's say you can do a delay end. So if you press this timer button, then it sets the end time. So if you know you're going to be out for 4 hours, you can do that and press play, and you know you'll come back to washing that's just finished instead of sitting there getting all moldy and smelly in the machine. So that goes all the way up to 24, and if you do, you probably just want to tap right through is the fastest way to get out of that if you want to reset it. Another handy feature, you've got the child lock here, and you just want to press, you see the padlock icon, double press those two for 3 seconds.
So I thought I'd dub this in after. You're going to see me start to struggle at this point. I'm just trying to get it to work with the child lock, and I really couldn't. Even though I've done it many times before, it just wouldn't work. So there's a design feature. It's a little bit trickier to use than it may appear, even though the buttons were beeping. So you can see me flailing around, but just to note, the child lock might be hard to use on your Samsung Ecobubble washer. So let's be totally honest about that. Back to the review.
You've also got the easy iron function, which then just means that it doesn't get them super creased when they're in the spin cycle. So that is quite handy to have as well. If you want to let it sit in some kind of stain remover, you can press that and it will do that as well. So you can then set it as you need. Okay, so
I'll add this in because my audio went a bit funny too. But the hand symbol is just to go for an intensive option or a pre-wash or both, and you can just toggle through by pressing that.
Then you can also toggle through the spin cycles, so you can see the speed, went up to 1400, then down to 0, no spin, and then you can see the spin speed as well each time you toggle through them. So yeah, you've got your spin cycles there. You've also got your rinse options, and you can just toggle through them to add a longer rinse if you want. Okay.
And then you've also got the temperature setting to toggle that on each wash cycle.
Okay, you've got your play or pause to set it off. As we talked about, there's the wheel. And your detergent drawer, this one's a bit gunky and not very clean, but over here this one, let's see if you can actually see that, got the one line, that's for your pre-wash. Then over on this side is actually for your detergent, your full wash, and this is a moldy one, so you really want to be just using a liquid to mainly avoid that and give this a good clean, and I'll do another video on that. And in the middle then you've got your fabric softener, and you've got your maximum line there to tell you don't overdo it. Okay, so that'll help you out no end. So let's just close that, and then you've got a little handle inside the door there to pull. Just open the drum, and yeah, it's just a 9K drum, so nothing spectacular. This time how to spin only. Right, it's really simple, although it doesn't look it at first. Just turn it on, and whatever wash you want to put it on, you can put it on that cycle and then set the spin for that, except for the Eco Drum Clean. So let's say it starts on a 15-minute quick wash. The time is 15 minutes, so literally I'm just going to long press and hold and wait for it. There you go. Just press, I think it's about 3 seconds, and it will then give you the spin only for that cycle. But long press and you get the spin only. So you literally go to the cycle you want and long press on the spin, and you get down to 19. I think the fastest, understandably, the rinse and spin. Let's see, long press, it was really quick, you see 6 minutes on that one. So that's how you do spin only on the Samsung Ecobubble washer. On the washing cycle it's already going, right? So a lot of you ask about different symbols. Now you can see this is mid-cycle, well, starting. Clearly you can see it's flashing on the dark garment cycle. And you can see there's a lot of suds and water going on there. And up here, what we've got, the flashing is literally, that matches the icon in the detergent drawer, right, where you put your main detergent. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of focusing a bit, struggling. But that's flashing, so it's going through that cycle at the minute. Well, next to it, the tub is actually a rinse cycle, and it doesn't show it here, but the rinse count is 4. So it's going to go through 4 rinses. Now here's the rinse option, so you can change that. Now you can see obviously the lock icon means it's locked. 117 is the time remaining. 1200 above the spin handle is the spin speed, and 40 above the thermometer is the wash temperature. And most of these cycles you can customize these by tapping these before your cycle starts. Now I've got a longer video coming up on all of the icons to explain them in detail, but I hope you find that useful to get a bit more out of your wash. And okay, on your Ecobubble Samsung washer, if you're seeing this after the end of a wash, it means you need to do an eco drum clean. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, so I've taken my clean load out. Now,
Right, this
you can see this icon is still flashing. That one
on the channel, and I'll see you
that
soon.
was the drum. And it'll stay on 0 forever unless you do this, by the way. So just power off. And the nice thing about the drum clean is it actually does not need any product as per the Samsung official website. So it's just literally on it goes, turn it down, eco drum clean. So let's call it 2 hours, and we just run it, and you can see it runs at a high temperature of 70, and then we just press, and 2 hours later it's done. Nothing else needed, nice and simple. Okay, so for calibration mode on this Samsung digital inverter washing machine, mine's an Ecobubble 9, okay? Close the door first of all, make sure the door's closed. Power on. Then what you want to do is hold on the delay end and the temperature button simultaneously, 3 seconds, and you see CB mode. So then you can press the play button and you've gone into calibration mode. And you'll see the drum start to change. You don't need to put anything or do anything else. But remember, you want to be doing this if you've moved house or if you've done any repairs on your machine, and it keeps it running properly. You also should really do this a couple of times a year, just in general, for general maintenance. So I'm going to let that run, and then we're going to have a better wash as a result. But that is how you do the calibration mode on this machine. And look, it's already started spinning after about a minute. It's into the cycle. So first of all, one of the guys, and I'll put links to their videos down below, recommends getting this deep clean formula, and you can get this off Amazon, which is what I've done in the UK and in the US. And then it says monthly cycles use 1 to 2, so I'm just going to go in between and put 4. But I mean, by all means use 6 to 8 if you start off with that. Now, I've left the machine open just because that keeps the mold free, and you probably want to give it a clean beforehand, okay? Mine's not too dirty, so I'm not going to do that now, but you do want to clean the seal and everything with a bit of bleach, etc. beforehand. But let's say we're going to go for this, right? These go straight in the drum, and I believe you might even be able to substitute these with dishwasher tablets. Sounds crazy. I mean, they look like it as well, don't they? And so I'm going to unwrap them, put them in the drum. And then in terms of getting the most intense cycle on here, if I power up, right? So let's come down. Now, the one that's got, if I come to baby care, you see it instantly goes to 60. If I press that, you see I've got what they call a boil wash. Then that goes up to 90. Now, I might just put this down. Let's see if I can. Just reduce the soaks to 2. Okay, that's the minimum. And up here it says, okay, that's the standard cycle. It's got a soak and that's got a spin. I'm not sure it actually needs a spin, so let's try that, taking that off. So it's going to be 1 hour 47. Now, that will go like that. I've also putting in towels, okay, because what happens, and I'm just going to put in these dirty dish towels I was going to wash anyway. If you don't put them in, it doesn't agitate any of the cleaning product enough, because they need something to agitate them. They're designed to have clothes in there. If you don't have anything in there, they don't actually activate their cleaning properties in full. So what we've done, we've gone for a baby care cycle with a 90 degree, put the temperature up to max. Only a few cycles can put the max temperature. Put in some old towels or whatever, or just towels, anything you're going to wash that is like not really sensitive to size and so on. And then get 4 of these tablets, depending, anywhere from 2 to 8, depending on how big your machine is or how dirty it is. Okay, so in they go. You could also put a drop of bleach in there as well. I haven't got any to hand, but I'm just going to do sort of a half clean for now, if you like. I could do this properly. I'll come back and do a video with it really fully done. But for now, let's see. So let's close that off. Now, this is an interesting bit. Okay, so if I start that, I want to let it run for about 15 minutes, and then it's going to fill up with water, but I actually need to add water. So you're going to want to get a watering can or some kind of bucket, and we're going to fill it right in here. Okay, so I need to let it get up to temperature, and obviously that temperature then is going to drop down a bit as soon as I put the water in. And it does say right on the product, you want it to be quite full and you want it to sit. So I just want to raise that water temperature. Oh, crikey. You can see the dust on the outside, fortunately. I want to raise that water temperature a few inches above what it will be normally. So I'm going to actually add in that water in a minute. But let's say this has got 147. Let's come back once it's got up to temperature and see how we're doing, okay? Oh, and yeah, just a note. These are going to bang and rattle as it starts. Don't worry. You haven't put anything wrong. Listen now. It's just those hard tablets hitting the drum without any real sort of padding because they're in there directly. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, so this comes the interesting bit. Now, I'm a bit more than 15, that's fine. Yeah, you can feel it just should feel a bit warm to the touch. That's fine. It's 90 degrees, but obviously I'm going to bring it down with this cooler water, which is, again, fine, right? So let's pause that. And then let's see. I'm going to put this into the main detergent compartment. And I want to fill that up. Okay, so for those in the States, I'm probably going to put in about a gallon of water here. But actually, you know, let's say 4 or 5 liters. I've never done this before, so this feels kind of crazy. Be careful, it does kind of backflow a bit. If I can do this and go a bit crazy and film that, maybe you can see the water level gradually rising. Take a while though. Okay, so I'm going to pause now and then keep coming. Okay, so I would guess that I actually put in more like 6 to 8 liters, let's say closer to 2 gallons there. And you can see this is the water level. It looks a bit funny because of the indentation, but it is up to here, which is higher than I've ever seen it on this machine. And it says to let it sit for 3 hours from there. And then at this point, what you can do, if you can, or if you turn it off at the wall, and mine's way back in there, that little gap, but then it should remember where it is. Now, I've got to leave this to sit for 3 hours as per the deep clean product I've got up there. So I don't know if that's going to work about the 1 hour 30, whatever, let's see. And this is, again, recommendation from washing machine technicians, okay? So I'm going to try and reach in there. Maybe you can see it. No, I can't get my phone in, right at the back. And if you can't do that, just try powering it off there and then see how we go. Okay, so let's come back in 3 hours. So let's just turn it off and let's come back in 3 hours. Okay, so I'm coming back to this a little over 3 hours later. Let's see if I turn it back on. Okay, it hasn't remembered that, that's fine. But perhaps I can put it through that full cycle, 90 degrees, so it's going to get that. And it really has sat there for a while, so let's do that and let it run. Come back in 1 hour 47. Then to finish off, you can see it's still locked because it hasn't drained all that excess water I put in. What you can do is turn it back on and just put it on the spin only cycle by pressing and holding the spin button, and then do that. And then that will drain out the excess water and spin it nicely. Oh, and yeah, just a note, these are going to bang and rattle as it starts. Don't worry, you haven't put anything wrong. Listen now. It's just those hard tablets hitting the drum without any real sort of padding because they're in there directly. Don't worry about it, it's fine. So if you like this, check out more videos on how to use it and other tips on the channel, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Turn it off as well.